Halftime in Montreal, the Argonauts lead by a point. Back live at BC Place Stadium here in Vancouver, where earlier today, that's False Creek, we moved left from the Cambie Street Bridge. Earlier today in overtime, BC defeated Saskatchewan 27-25. We'll talk with Wally Buono in just a minute, head coach of the Lions. Sean Millington, Greg Frères, Danny McManus with me. I'm Brian Williams. Right now, let's talk about the first half of this Toronto-Montreal game. Sean, you played for Don Matthews. He always makes a big change before a big game.
Well, as last year he replaced his defensive backs, this year he replaces one of his running backs. He takes Autry Denson off and puts on Jonas Lewis. But I think the bigger significance is also that we have Eric Lapointe. I mean, Jonas Lewis hasn't really had an opportunity to make a whole lot happen this year. But here we see him taking the most of what he's given and getting things done with it.
Now, Pinball Clemens said he needed 14 points from his special teams. Greg Frères, he is halfway there.
Yeah, and we were kind of laughing at that comment because we felt like it really spoke volumes to the lack of productivity they had offensively. But when you have returners like Arlan Bruce and Livingston back there, you can take it the distance anytime, and their kickoff returns end up being their best offensive weapon. Arlan Bruce returns this 98 yards, his kickoff return. That's the third return for him this season, the seventh for their team this year, and it's electric every time the ball is in their hands.
Now, Danny, you would agree. Quarterbacks need protection. We saw you against Toronto. Yes. Once they just touched you, and they called a penalty.
He was crying. Well, see, I don't want the officials to get upset with this, but that was obvious. It looked like there was something going on there that he definitely went right after Damon's leg. I mean, that's Ed Fillion. Everyone knows the track record. You heard Chris Walby. I know if Chris was coming back in that huddle with me, he'd say, call the play my way. I'm going after this guy. And that might be what's happening in Toronto right now, is that they're looking to see, how can we get Ed back? Don't worry about Ed. You got 11 other guys you got to worry about. That drive at the end of the first half was not bad. They need to keep doing some stuff like that and continue the progress.
You mentioned the drive wasn't bad. Toronto still doesn't have much of an offense. They've still got their quarterback, unlike the previous 2 years when Reggie Slack was hurt and Damon Allen. You used a word earlier in the pregame show talking about Toronto's offense.
Well, their offense definitely has a ton of talent, but, there's still an offense that has potential. You don't want to be known as a team of potential because that just speaks that you haven't produced anything yet. I think of the missed catch that R.J. Soward had in his hands, had the opportunity to make a play, and he missed it. You know what? This team needs to start making plays. That's how you're going to win this football game.
And Damon Allen is supposed to be the leader of this team. He's one of those guys who's got to step up and make those plays that you're referring to. He's got to make some completions and make things happen with his legs.
We'll take a break. Up next from here in Vancouver, we'll talk with the head coach of the BC Lions, Wally Buono. By the way, the Lions beat Montreal twice this year and defeated Toronto once. This is the CFL on CBC. Joe Gam.
The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, with an interior that's quieter than a Jaguar S-Type 3.0. It's worth a look. The off-road legend continues on-road.
So long, ordinary toothbrush. Oral-B has created the new Professional Care 8000. It pulsates and oscillates to loosen plaque and sweep it away. Teeth get twice as clean and your whole mouth gets healthier. Why use anything else? The new Oral-B Professional Care 8000.
KFC's DVD movie meal is here. A delicious meal, gourmet popcorn, and one of 3 great DVDs. It's all you need for a great night in. There's more in the bucket.
Hey, look out.
Suddenly, everywhere you want to go seems a lot closer. Introducing the American Express Aeroplan Plus cards. You can earn up to 60% more Aeroplan miles. And when you earn faster, everything gets closer.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When monitoring a patient after open heart surgery, the brand of battery hospitals trust most is Duracell. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
The 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
History of Excellence. Brought to you by Nissan.
George Dixon played 7 seasons in the CFL, all with the Montreal Alouettes. The 195-pound back out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, electrified crowds across the country. The outstanding player in 1962, he averaged an incredible 6.3 yards per carry. He was a great back who could do it all. The city of Montreal has a wonderful and long football history. So many great names. Names like running back George Dixon. Back live at BC Place Stadium, where earlier today in overtime, the BC Lions defeated Saskatchewan 27-25 before more than 55,000. Duncan O'Mahony, a 47-yard field goal to tie it on the final play of regulation, then a 40-yarder to win it in overtime. And as promised, head coach Wally Buono joins us. Congratulations, going back to the Grey Cup, first time with the BC Lions.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you know, today was a typical Western final. Both teams are fighting tooth and nail to try to get a win, and it was tough. It was a very emotional game. It was a very tough game, and you know, obviously when this place is full, it's a tremendous atmosphere.
We met with you yesterday, and I said, look, O'Mahony's never kicked a field goal in the playoffs, and you get a little agitated. You said, I'm tired of people putting him down. I've got confidence in him.
Well, you know, the thing you have to understand about Duncan, as I said, he's mentally tough. You know, I was waiting for him to come up and tell me he wanted to kick that 48-yard field goal. And, you know, because I've learned that over the years with Mark McLaughlin, when he thinks he can make it, he's going to come up and tell me. And, you know, the great ones have the confidence. He came up and says, Coach, I can do this. And that's when we put him in.
Hey, Wally, like you said, it's an emotional roller coaster. Talk to me a little about the atmosphere that was on the sidelines with your players.
Well, obviously, you know, it's up and down like a yo-yo. But, you know, this is something we've done all year, you know, whether we like it or not. You know, coming back, fighting through adversity has not been something that's new to us.
Now, Coach, I know it's early, and I don't want to be the one to bring it up. I know it's going to come up by the media. But Casey's situation, if you go a little bit on that, on how he's feeling, and then just the way Dave played. I mean, we know him and how he played, but for him to come out and the way what he's kind of handled the things that happened this year, how does that? What kind of feelings does that make for you?
Well, it gives me a tremendous sense of confidence, as it did today. You know, we had no concerns about our quarterbacking position, and we know right now that, you know, if Casey isn't going to do it, Dave is, and if Dave isn't going to do it, Spurge is going to be in. So, you know, when you have that confidence and that depth, I think it's great for the team.
Coach, talk to us about Antonio Warren. Was he going to this game as big a part of your plans as he turned out to be in the end?
Well, he was going to be a big part of our plans. We wanted to definitely run the ball the way we did. We wanted to include him in the passing game, and that was a special play that we had put in. So, you know, Antonio's a great athlete. I think now he's back in the groove. You know, he hadn't played football really for 2 years. He was in the NFL, but, you know, he really didn't play. And, you know, he's been great, I say, the last, 14, 15 games.
Coach, again, Dave Dickinson came in, had the great finish to the game. Again, what is the current condition for Printers?
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is that he got cramps in his leg. That's as far as I know. And
cramps in his leg.
That's what I was
does he throw with his legs?
I don't know. I heard he cramped up, so let's just leave it at that.
All right, we'll say a bruised shoulder. Wally Buono, thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you in Ottawa.
Well, thank you. It'll be a lot of fun.
Cramped legs and all. Next, we go back live to Montreal. Chris Cuthbert, Chris Walby, and Brenda Irving will have the second half. You're watching the Championship Division Finals on CBC.
Walmart is proud to introduce our newest associate, Gingy.
Hey, gang, follow me to Walmart's Toyland. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's burn rubber. Morning, brats. I love those kids. Ah, move over, Hover. That thing rocks. Check out those bikes. Excuse me. Woohoo! Leaping leap pads. Cowabunga, Ninja Turtles.
Motor on, Cookie Did.
I love this job. How'd I do, Marianne?
You have a lot of energy.
Yeah, I think it's the sugar. You're IT guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta help me. My computer has a virus. I've got to email a presentation or I'm dead. It's for a board meeting. Maybe you just rip out the hard drive.
Oh, no.
Just press the blue button and follow along.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. That easy.
That's it.
You ever tried decaf?
Stress-free wireless, only on a ThinkPad with Intel Centrino mobile technology.
So long, ordinary toothbrush. The Oral-B dental experts have created cleaning technology like nothing else on Earth. The new Oral-B Professional Care 8000. It pulsates and oscillates to loosen plaque and sweep it away. Teeth get twice as clean and dramatically whiter. Gums get stronger. Your whole mouth gets healthier. You'll never go back to an ordinary brush again. The new Oral-B Professional Care 8000. Brush like a dentist.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Dodge and your Dodge retailers. Grab life by the horns. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh.
Who will make the cut? One of only 6 tryouts with a Canadian NHL club is on the line, and the long road to NHL glory is nearing the end. Tuesday for the players remaining, it's gut check time. As for some, this may be their last shot making the cut. Presented by Bell this Tuesday at 8 on CBC. Back at Olympic Stadium as we ready ourselves for the second half. Alouettes won all 3 regular season meetings, but it's the Argos by 1 at the half here as we join Brenda Irving.
Mike Lemon's team leads here in Montreal by a single point. And Mike, heading into this game, you said that it was very important for your team to win the special teams battle. How did it feel to get that early touchdown?
That was big for us, and we thought after the first one, after the first kickoff, that they had sort of overloaded the boundary, and we might have a chance at that. Everybody executed, and Arlen Bruce did a great job. What a wonderful job they do and as they play together.
A lot of talk heading into this game about Damon Allen and the offense. How do you get it going in the second half?
Well, yeah, I thought the offense did a good job of moving the football at times. We also had a chance downfield. What the offense has done a good job of keeping us in the ball game, keeping the defense fresh, but we have to score points. We got to finish.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Well, Pinball talked about that big return, and upon further review, knee down out before he got there, so the Argos get the benefit of a generous official's call, and they won't apologize for it. Because remember, a year ago in the Eastern Final, and a controversial late Alouette touchdown that provided the winning points. Calvillo on the run, headed for pay dirt. Clifford Ivory with the strip, and the ball coming loose just prior to crossing the line. Ancient history, but maybe things evening out.
Little payback.
Prefontaine to kickstart the second half. The BC Lions going to Ottawa, and now these 2 Eastern rivals trying to complete the picture as Jonas Lewis returns the kickoff. And we check the numbers through the opening 30 minutes.
Well, obviously 8-7's a score, and it's a very defensive, defined football game. Turnovers, not a huge story, but having said that, the costly error on the botched snap from Chu to Cavill, that's big. Obviously time of possession right here, but I still like the fact that Toronto is doing just the right amount of time to give their defense a rest, allowing them to move the football.
Well, the Alouettes known for their halftime adjustments, and that hitch to Cahoon snuffed. Check AC's distribution in the opening half.
Well, he's utilized the entire football field. He's tried to go left and right, and of course he loves to go deep. 25 yards. Got good numbers, 16-23, only 174 yards. Obviously no touchdowns, no interceptions.
And that's true to form for an Argo defense. They'll give you the underneath. They just don't give away the big plays. And So far, that has been consistent here. Calvillo, under pressure, down he goes. And a sack for Eric England, his third of the playoffs, and now Calvillo has been shaken up.
Well, this is huge.
Anthony Calvillo really has not been rattled since late last year in a game against BC, but he's never missed a start in 5 years.
He is grimacing in pain right now. Eric England coming off the outside at the defensive end position. As we see Ted White, the backup quarterback. Noah Cantor in the middle, working against Chu, gets the penetration. That forces Anthony to take to the outside. He can't step up in the pocket. And that allows Eric England to come from the backside and wrap him up, and he goes down hard on that right shoulder, the throwing shoulder. And you can see he just rolls right over, and he grabs it right there. This has been a game of injuries, Chris. We saw early in the game, Kwame Cavill get ear hold. He left the game with a possible concussion. Strickland with the hamstring. Gerard went to the locker room to check out his knee. He's back.
We're told Robert Brown suffered a broken nose, but this may have the most impact on the game. Ted White, who got late season action against Ottawa and Toronto, and in very short order proved that he might be able to get
Chris, I don't like the way he's holding that arm. Take a look at that arm. That's usually indication of a separation or something in the shoulder joint. He's holding it up. He can't even drop the arm.
The last two Eastern Finals, an Argo quarterback has not been able to finish, and now it would appear that it's Montreal's turn to try and recover from an injury to the signal caller. Argo should get good field position, and Bruce leveled by Philippe Gerard. But the story's on the sidelines, and Anthony Calvillo appears to be headed to the dressing room.
Right now, when you buy a 2005 Dodge Caravan or Grand Caravan, you save double the GST. Which leaves you laughing all the way to the bank. Did we mention the no-charge DVD system?
Okay, group, you have all become dependent on the new lineup of Subway fresh toasted subs. And today we are going to confront this dependency.
Show them the toasted sandwich.
Take a close look. Ask yourselves, why can't you resist the new barbecue steak with Monterey cheddar cheese? Is it because it's toasted to perfection and served piping hot? Is it the fresh baked bread? Is it the delicious toppings you lovingly selected? Rachel, mind over flavor.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Wow, it's hot in here. You gotta do something about your radiator coolant. Thanks. Says so right here in your owner's manual under how to protect your warranty.
Time to visit the fluid experts at Mr. Lube for a quick, convenient cooling system fluid change and a 21-point visual inspection.
Oops, almost forgot. You want to recycle this?
Mr. Lube. You're doing it right by the book.
The biggest story of the game so far, Anthony Calvillo knocked out and headed to the Alouette dressing room along with one of the team doctors after this hit by Eric England.
Well, Eric England is just going to keep working. Good pressure up the middle by Noah Cantor, and then he comes around and drives him hard into the turf. And we know that he's got some sort of right shoulder throwing shoulder injury.
And now the Argos with the best start for either team on the Alouette side of half. A reception by Robert Baker, but a flag down as Ted White heats up along the sidelines. Yes, he is the backup quarterback, not the backup defensive end.
Well, he's a specimen, I tell you. And you know what? How fortunate for him, the Alouettes, to have allowed Ted White to get some playing action late in the season, because he is going to have to be the man right now and answer the bell. Now, the thing is, you talk about Anthony Calvillo leaving the football game. What about the emotional blow to the Alouettes? They know that Anthony Cavill is their leader. Most outstanding player. Gets the job done. Never gets razzed. You know, he just knows how to do it. Nothing phases him. All of a sudden, he's out of the football game.
A holding call against Sandy Annunziata. Marches it back into Argo territory at the 49. Big rush, but Allen escapes across midfield, and Allen lunging forward all the way to the 45-yard line. He gets 15 back.
Well, we take a look at what Damon Allen has done, and you know what? He's had a lot of success low, throwing the hitch passes to Arla and Bruce, who has broken tackles and picked up first downs. They have not run the football. John Avery, who does not have a carry this football game, but he's been utilized as a blocker, and Damon does the next best thing, and that gets his slot backs involved with short passes.
The third leading rusher all time in the CFL. Allen got 15. Bruce over the middle with a catch and a first down at the 39. And Arlen Bruce has made an impact on this Argo offense today.
Well, he's made an impact on the special teams, and he's the leading receiver for the Argonauts on offense. Just gets the job done. He's big, he's tough, he's not afraid to go over the middle and make the tough catches. If you're Montreal, you got to pick it up on defense right now because of the emotional letdown of seeing your leader leave the field. It's your defense that has to rise to the occasion right now.
Reggie Durden out of the game. Richard Carey in, and for the first time today, John Avery with a carry, and he's stopped in the backfield.
Well, it's always tough to run the football if you're going to get penetration and you have somebody in your face before you take your first step. It's exactly what happened to John Avery. By the time he receives the football, designed to go to the left side, nothing there. He hasn't got any opportunity to cut it back as Kerry Samuel, 26, brings him down.
But now the Alouettes working without Tim Strickland and without Reggie Durden. 2nd and 12. Allen with time, looking deep. R.J. Soward, the intended receiver, overthrown by 5 yards.
Yeah, R.J. Soward, who in the first quarter dropped a sure touchdown pass. This play, it looks like he's a little injured. The hamstring might have tightened up as he kind of limps off. Looked like he kind of stopped running on the play, Chris. He had to give up on that football. That may be the reason why.
Andre Rison not in the lineup for the Argonauts. As Soward looks uncomfortable getting to the sidelines. Prefontaine wants to angle it out. And this one will roll down and get the Argo bounce. No, it does get to the orange marker and a single point.
Cats crave the real meaty taste of Whiskas Temptations cat treats. With a soft, meaty center surrounded by a crunchy shell, they're like 2 treats in one.
What are you doing?
Oh, here, check this out.
In fact, cats will do anything for the irresistible taste.
Yeah, I taught him that last week.
Cats crave Whiskas Temptations.
Brooks working on R.J. Soward. That's the first point since the 10:54 mark of the first quarter. Argo's now with a 2-point lead, and Ted White is at the controls for the Alouettes. Guys talking about establishing a running game for Montreal, and maybe this is Jonas Lewis's time to make an impact.
You know what? You hit it on the head, Chris, because what happens now is when Anthony Cavill is in the football game, he doesn't have to rely on the running game. He knows what his receivers can do. He knows the offense so well. But when you get a backup guy in now, Ted White, you need to help him get comfortable. Therefore, the run game becomes even more paramount for Ted White and the Alouette offense.
A couple of weeks ago, he was 7 for 7 for 80 yards against the Argonauts. 2nd and short yardage. And Lewis should have enough for the first down. This has been the story of the game. Stingy defense. Jordan Younger with that athletic play. Noah Cantor and the troops up front, putting on the pressure. That front three, Brown with a fumble recovery, and then England with the sack that has knocked EC out of this game, at least for the time being, and it would appear for the night.
Well, England and Canada in the middle, and Jonathan Brown on the other side, and those three guys have really made a difference so far in this football, getting pressure on Anthony Cavill, and obviously the big hit by England putting Cavill out of the football game.
It is a seasoned group, 8 with at least 4 years of CFL experience on that Argo defense. White looking deep. Ted White up for grabs, and Copeland's got him.
How does Copeland come up with this catch? I am looking at Adrian Smith saying he's coming over. This is a surefire interception. This ball is in the air a long time. Ted White lofts it up. It just sits and sits. You see Adrian Smith leaving his feet way too early on the play. Instead of continuing running toward the football, he tries to time his jump. He doesn't time it correctly.
Over 100 yards in each of the last 2 Grey Cups, 42 on that play that is sure to give the Alouettes a shot in the arm. Eric Lapointe. Hard running down to the 17. Kevin Ivan the tackle.
Well, a shot in the arm, but also some confidence for Ted White. You know, we talked about the fact that he's played very sparingly at the end of the year, but he's looked sharp in that short period of time. Obviously, when you throw the ball deep and Copeland comes up with a big catch, that's going to give confidence to the young quarterback.
I was thinking about the offense getting a little confidence. It's not over, even though the big guy's gone.
Well, you also got to remember, the Argo defense cannot relax now.
2nd and 5. White pumps, throws, and this one drops incomplete harmlessly at the goal line.
Well, Eric England again making his presence felt at that defensive end spot, coming up, putting a hit on Ted White.
You know, this is 2 weeks in a row, Chris, that a 3-man Argo rush is getting the job done.
Well, they really had a game last week against Hamilton. They run a lot of stunts on that good Hamilton offensive line, causing some confusion in picking up the blitz. This time they bring it. They get good penetration again up the middle. That does not allow the quarterback to step up in the pocket. And any quarterback will tell you, if you can't step up, the outside guys are going to get you.
Matt Kellen, who missed much of the second half of the season with blurred vision. Sights were good there, and the Alouettes have the
lead. Right now, when you buy a 2005 Dodge Caravan or Grand Caravan, you save double the GST. Which leaves you laughing all the way to the bank. Did we mention the no-charge DVD system?
Morning. Morning. Thank you. Bye now.
When you deliver for more businesses in Canada than any other courier, you get very good at it. Purelator, where business is going.
Oh, I hate packing up.
Come here. I wish we could freeze this moment. What?
Just heard Mrs. Fraser's thinking of selling this place.
Oh.
You know, we've got enough to make an offer.
CIBC Investments can give you the freedom to create your own choices.
This is what it's all about. We'll be in the nation's capital next Sunday for the 92nd Grey Cup Championship. Our coverage beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern. Kickoff time around 6 o'clock. The BC Lions confirming their reservations with an overtime win. This one very much in the balance midway through the third quarter.
Well, you know they're sitting there as they're watching this football game saying, great, you guys beat the heck out of each other, watching all these players fall out, being unable to continue this football game. And That's what they'd like to meet. Either one of these teams with a injury-plagued lineup next week.
Argos start at the 50. There was a late roughing penalty on Paul Lambert after the field goal. So 15 yards tacked on to the Argos' decision to take the ball at the 35. And the temper short again as Ed Fillion is in the middle of it.
Well, they're showing a late hit again. That's what they're saying. The ball's delivered, and right again, he goes after that knee. That's 2 times he's gone away with a call. This time not as flagrant on it, but still low, not pushed into the quarterback. We talked about that. That is a league rule that was put in there to protect the quarterbacks. You have to hit him above the waist unless you're actually pushed into the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Allen guns to Arlen Bruce, and Patrick Dorvelis, who's had to fill the bill, a Montreal native, in for Tim Strickland. Close quickly on Bruce, ensuring he would not get the first down.
Now Dorvelis just drops back. He's right over here, just going to drop back in zone coverage and close on the receiver. As soon as Bruce makes the catch, he's over to bring him down, forcing a punting situation.
Once again, Prefontaine will be looking to the sidelines. And there's been a big edge in this game for the Argos. A penalty flag down and the play stopped, which wipes out a terrific Prefontaine punt. And he'll have to do it again 5 yards further back as somebody moved quickly.
I believe it's the outside guys on the cover team leaving before the ball is snapped.
Toronto offensive line.
Well, they're going to call the entire unit.
Oh, you'd love Dave Ewell. No incriminating evidence there. Just
well, remember, they're not offensive line on the punt cover team. These are usually your linebackers and such. You're not used to taking a snap count.
Prefontaine loads it up again. And Landry from his 16. He's quick, but he's out. Stepped out at the 26-yard line.
If you want the best tasting orange juice, you let in only the best tasting oranges. Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice. To guarantee you the best taste, we've got to be very, very choosy.
Over 50,000 at Olympic Stadium, anxiously watching a 1-point Montreal lead with the all-Canadian quarterback knocked out of the game. Ted White in relief. And once again, his first play call is to Jonas Lewis. There's Rich Stubler, defensive coordinator of the Argos, who now has to bark out different instructions with a different quarterback to be concerned with. And Doug Barry, his opposite number, the offensive coordinator of the Alouettes, has been conferring with White. Second short, and a big gain by Jonas Lewis. And that's why he's in and Audrey Denson's not.
Well, Jonas Lewis, who is the MVP in the NFL Europe World Bowl game, can get the job done. He loves to run the football, wants to be a big factor. What a time to shine. But the offensive line is creating holes. Now, Ted White doesn't have to throw 30 balls in a football game if Jonas Lewis and offensive line keep getting the success they're getting now.
And remember, the Argos were last against the run, allowing 140 yards a game. Play action, pressure, and White shrugs it off. And looks for Cahoon, who has the catch at the 45-yard line. So Ted White, using that size advantage to make a huge play.
And there's an old adage, you never give up on the play until you hear the whistle. Good pressure initially up the front. There comes Jonathan Brown, and he thinks he's got Ted White. Ted White's big. He shrugs him off. Look at him. He looks like he's going to run the football, and he finds the ever-elusive Ben Cahoon once again, who keeps working changes his route, finds the opening, comes back, and helps his quarterback.
7th catch for Cahoon, 22 yards the pickup. They go to the right side to Lewis and just back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, one of the reasons teams have success running the football on Toronto is they run a 3-4. And as a result, you only have 3 down linemen and you have 4 linebackers back off the ball. So if you block at the point of contact and you get a little hole, obviously the next guy that's going to hit the running back is going to be from the linebacking position. And if he's not on a blitz, it's going to be 5 yards past the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. Ted White, 6'4", 245 pounds, guns it downfield, picked off. Orlando Steinauer, who's made a career of interceptions against Montreal. His 10th career pick of an Alouette quarterback. And for the Argos, it couldn't have come at a better time.
Okay, group, you have all become dependent on the new lineup of Subway fresh toasted subs. Take a close look. Ask yourselves, why can't you resist the new barbecue steak with Monterey cheddar cheese? Rachel, mind over flavor.
Subway, eat fresh.
Did you see it?
It's close.
I'll keep looking.
It's good.
You don't like it?
No. It's too,
Slopey?
Yes. I love you.
I love you too.
Come together with Couples Plan from Rogers Wireless. Couples talk free from only $35 a month.
Subway Restaurants introduces new hot oven toasted subs, like the new toasted barbecue steak with Monterey cheddar cheese sub.
That's our sub.
Dude, toasted top to bottom and all the way through on our fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
The proven performance of Helix on your canola seed. For extended protection from higher flea beetle pressure, insist on Helix Extra. You'll be glad you did.
Anthony Calvillo back on the Montreal bench, conferring with Ted White after that interception by Orlando Steinauer.
Well, here's Michael Shea. They're going to run a little bit of a blitz here now. Watch it, they block it inside. Now freeze it up there. Look at the throwing lane. He's got the throwing lane, but look who's over here. That's the free safety. That's Orlando Steinauer. Now run the play. He is just reading this ball. As soon as it is thrown, it's overthrown. He gets an easy interception. As you say, the 10th career interception against this Montreal team.
First down Argos in the flat. Arlen Bruce gets outside and up close to the 40, a first down. Orlando Steinauer awarded with a watch from his head coach at the end of the year for being the best prepared Argonaut, along with Mike O'Shea. Usually that award is automatically given to a quarterback because they spend the most time.
But they are quarterbacks. They are the quarterbacks of the defense. Mike O'Shea will make the calls for the defensive line and linebackers, and Steinauer's in charge of the secondary.
Arlen Bruce, 9 catches on the day. Pulls it down and gets short yardage up to the 43. Tito Simpson involved in the tackle of Doug Berry, trying to bring White up to speed in a hurry.
Well, short yardage picked up by Damon Allen, but I like the fact as he pump fakes, gets away from the pressure. Rob Brown doesn't force the situation. He picks up 2 yards, but 2 yards is better than taking a sack.
You saw R.J. Soward limp off earlier for Toronto. Michael Palmer is in as Dave Stallon amps up the crowd. 2nd and long. Flag down as Robert Brown was tripped up. Avery at the 45 stopped short of the first down. And it looks like the Alouettes will decline the penalty.
Well, I think Jude St. John.
Toronto 66. Penalties decline.
Jude St. John just grabbed the ankle of Rob Brown, preventing him from taking a shot at his quarterback. Sometimes this is a good penalty. Protect your quarterback at all costs. It's just going to work here. He gets beat right off the gun, and he grabs the leg, a little bit of the jersey, pulls him down. Good job of throwing the flag and protecting the quarterback. Yeah, it costs you. You got to bring in the punt team, but your quarterback didn't take a shot.
Under 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. Prefontaine back in. Has not shown the form of last week, but has outkicked his counterpart, Mariscal so far. Landry, his best return. Late flag down as Landry gets near the 40-yard line, and we've got a scrap on the far side of the field as Armando Curry was tied up with Burlington native Michael Palmer. And that drew a flag as well, so Dave Ewell with at least 2 infractions to sort out.
One of the first times we've seen Prefontaine not get that kick to the sideline. That's a dangerous kick when you got a guy like Landry who's got more field to utilize now. But we talked about it, you said it earlier in the broadcast, Chris. He is the #1 punter in the CFL, but they also have the #1 cover team.
And the best return of the game for Landry wiped out by these penalties.
Holding. Montreal. Illegal block. Montreal. The illegal block is declined. The holding is accepted.
So we don't know who the guilty party was, but both calls against the Alouettes, and that backs them up at the 15-yard line. And although Anthony Calvillo was at the Montreal bench, it would appear this is Ted White's game to win for the Alouettes.
Well, you know, the veteran that Calvillo is, he's going to try and impart some of his wisdom from playing in this football game on to Ted White.
Here comes the blitz from Bonner, and the pass behind the intended receiver, Dave Stala.
Now, here's where experience becomes a factor. He's trying to hit a hitch pattern. They love to run this with Calvillo. Bring the receiver inside, get some blocking, hopefully can break it for a lot of yards. Sets back, he throws it, he throws to the outside. Stala's coming to the inside, the ball is going to the outside. Just a little bit of miscommunication, not working together.
Here's my thought. The Alouettes, or the Argos, haven't shown that they can stop the run yet. And yet the Alouettes started in the air and will get a completion to Thyron Anderson. Up near the 30-yard line, a big first down.
Well, obviously that thought, would have stored that thought for later in the football game.
Well,
you're right. No,
you're not going to run on second down, but
I agree with you. And I tell you what, we've seen Jonas Lewis get success running the football, but obviously they still have a lot of confidence in Ted White's ability to throw that football, and he does a nice job of getting it out to Thyron Anderson, who has been pretty quiet since the first quarter of this football game.
Just trying to show the influence you've had on me. Every week you talk about the running game. I was finally buying in, and now they will give it to Lapointe, and he has a short gain that will likely force another passing situation for Montreal.
Well, it allows Ted White to use play action to freeze the linebackers. Montreal loves to run the deep routes behind the linebackers. You can't get behind the linebackers unless you run the football. You have to fool them to get them to take a step toward the line of scrimmage.
Second and 7. In the dying seconds of this third quarter. And this nearly picked. Oh, Jordan Younger was all over that one as he stepped alongside Thyron Anderson.
Well, that's a good thing that Thyron Anderson is such a big body, because it forced Jordan Younger to go all the way around him to try and come up with that football, and he had to actually lean in to grab it. Had it been a shorter receiver, he may have been able to come over the top and grab that football, but nonetheless, great coverage by Jordan Younger. And what I like about the kid, he never gets excited. After he makes a good play, he's not one of these guys, rah-rah, pumps his fist, just does his job and goes back to the huddle.
Mariscal, pressure on, they got it! They blocked the punt, and it'll be down to the 20. I believe it was Michael Fletcher putting the heat on the import kicker, Steinauer and Fletcher. with the heat on and a huge turnover.
Right now, when you buy a 2005 Dodge Caravan or Grand Caravan, you save double the GST. Which leaves you laughing all the way to the bank. Did we mention the no-charge DVD system?
Subway Restaurants introduces new hot oven toasted subs, like the toasted barbecue steak with Monterey cheddar cheese sub. Toasted top to bottom and all the way through on our fresh baked bread. A great new taste no one can resist.
That's our sub.
Dude, you gotta stop doing that.
Subway's new toasted barbecue steak with Monterey cheddar cheese sub. Oven toasting brings out a great new taste.
I just want to look at it.
Subway, eat fresh.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. And by Dodge and your Dodge retailers. Grab life by the horn.
Clemens talked about special teams. They got 7 on the kickoff return, and now a huge punt block. Either Orlando Steinauer or Mike
both
Fletcher.
of them mistakes here. First off, here he's going to block him. He just gives him a shove. Also, watch this. You got to keep him to the outside, not let him inside. 2 mistakes by the upbacks. Jonas Lewis, poor push. Eric Lapointe, you got to keep him to the outside. Both of them get their hands in there. Big play.
At the 20, they swing it out to Bruce, and he gets by the first man and has a first down inside the 10. Richard Carey couldn't come up with Arlen Bruce.
And I got to tell you right now, you know, on the Montreal bench, there's a little bit of the self-doubt creeping into that bench on that sideline as Toronto's making big plays in the second half. And the offense is giving the ball to Arlen Bruce and letting him do his thing.
Only 16 catches during the regular season. He's had 10 on the night. First and goal. Pressure. Allen throws it away. Incomplete. Robert Baker down inside the 5, suggesting he was tackled.
Robert Baker just got tangled up with the free safety. Baron Miles, as we take a look at the three-quarter stats, obviously turnover is a big factor. But the fact of the matter is, right now, look at the time of possession, 27 minutes. Advantage Montreal, but it tells you sometimes stats don't tell the whole story.
R.J. Soward back in, second and goal. Deafening at the Big O. 5 receivers right side. Allen rolling there. And Avery, no good. And he would have been well short with Carey in tow.
Well, David Allen has got to get rid of this football early. He has got John Avery open right off the bat. As soon as he takes the ball, John Avery runs to the flat. Give him the football. He waits too long and forces this football late where the defenders can get up there. Albeit John Avery does not come over that catch, but if he gives him the ball earlier, he has much more football field to play with, possibly cut back into the end zone.
So Prefontaine checks in to attempt a 16-yarder. Kevin Ivan the holder. And Prefontaine puts it through. Remember, Paul McCallum missed a short one. Prefontaine makes good, and it's 12-10 Argonauts.
Most new models come with minor changes,
A tweak here, an adjustment there. So when we crafted the new Buick Allure, we decided to change only two things: the interior and the exterior. Introducing the new Buick lineup, the Allure, Rainier, and Terraza. The next chapter in our heritage of award-winning quality, and something totally unexpected from Buick.
The War Amps and the CFL, a tradition for 25 years. Carl Hilsinger was a CFL star in the 1950s. After he lost both his legs in a car accident, Carl became a counselor to child amputees. The War Amps and the CFL have been working together ever since. Their message?
Whatever game you play, play safe. Play safe.
What gives a man ultimate shaving performance? Brawn Activator's revolutionary new foil with differently shaped holes captures hair growing in any direction for a closer shave in fewer strokes. And the world's most thorough automatic cleaning center leaves it feeling like a new shaver every day. Try the new Brawn Activator. It's the world's best self-cleaning shaver, guaranteed.
Reminder, you can log on in the second half and cast your vote for the Warrior of the game. Plenty of candidates, the 41-year-old grandfather, or maybe Arlen Bruce, who has 10 catches on the night. Ben Cahoon, always a warrior in that Alouette offensive scheme, 7 catches. And plenty of guys on the defensive side of the ball in this one. Ted White going deep, but overthrowing Cahoon by 10 yards or so.
Ted White stepping up in that pocket, showing the strength of his arm as he overthrows Ben Cahoon by about 5 yards. And again, Chris, you mentioned it. Jonas Lewis wants the football. You're going against the team, a defense that gives up the most yardage against the run. Don't forget your run game, especially this game is not out of reach. It's only 12-10 for Toronto.
And you saw that graphic, the Argos like a week ago enjoying a field position advantage in this game. White going back up top for Thyron Anderson, and great coverage again. And there's Mr. Younger, and you've said it a few times, and he keeps making you look good with that great coverage.
Well, he has really come to play today, going against a tall, lanky receiver and Thyron Anderson, who tries to go up and use his height advantage over Jordan Younger, who's only 5'10", a 6-inch advantage. When they leap up, it becomes even more. But good coverage right in the hip pocket, not allowing Anderson to come up with that catch down the sideline.
Well, let's see what kind of pressure they put on Mariscal this time. Blocked well, but Mariscal rattled. Short kick. Livingston fields it, and he's running backwards. Way back. But maybe he can turn the corner. Across the 50 and going a long way. And finally, last man got him, and a flag at the end of the play. Now, Livingston, I'm sure, had some with...
He went from being almost a goat,
yes,
to a bit of a hero as he turns that corner. They might have got a little fortunate, though, Chris, as I thought I saw a couple of clips as he tried to round the corner and take it back around the right side.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Montreal number 40. After the play, first down.
Long snapper Jason Congdon called. You know, he lost 20 and then got 26 back. It was a net of 6 yards on the return, but it was interesting.
Well, he gets to the outside, uses blazing speed to get down that sideline, and again, Montreal getting called for a penalty. Jason Congdon with the rough play, tack on an additional 15 yards.
Didn't get the rough play there, but we have seen Blake Clements in many animated discussions with Livingston, but the Argos are set up, and Allen's going deep, looking into the end zone. Incomplete. Kelly Malvo with a good hand battle with R.J. Soward.
Well, Kelly Malvo does an excellent job of staying with R.J. Soward all the way down the football field. It's maximum protection, keep the backs in. It's going for the corner of the end zone. Now he's going up to play the football, does just enough to disrupt the timing of the play, not allowing Sauer to come up with the catch in the back of the end zone.
And Sauer got up, started to trot off, did that Tennessee bird walk a bit, and then put a knee down, and he's cramping again. And will have to be helped off.
I think you have to realize when you're playing indoors, you got 50,000 plus in here, it's warmer. As a result, you got to make sure you're always hydrated with water.
You know, here's a first-round NFL draft choice. When he arrived in camp, he was, as the Argos say, in NFL shape. He had to lose 20 pounds during the year. It took him about a half season to get into CFL shape, where there's a lot more running done by the receivers. I think there's a little frustration about it.
And you can't alternate. In the NFL, you can wait, put your hand up, and they got another substitution. Bigger rosters, more time between plays.
2nd and 10. Pressure. Allen steps up. Unloads. Robert Baker. Great move. And Baker's got a first down inside the 10.
Well, Robert Baker just became the playmaker. Nice job of catching the football. A little desperation throw by Damon Allen. He could have ran with the football. He decided to just drop it off to number 88, who's just doing a crossing route right across the middle. That puts the bind on 44, Kevin Johnson, because he sees Damon Allen. He's got to respect the quarterback. He dumps it off. Baker, nice couple nifty moves. Big first down inside the 10 of the Alouettes.
3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. First and goal. Allen into the end zone for Arlen Bruce. Touchdown!
Arlen Bruce adjusted to this football. The rookie, Kerry, just got taught a lesson. You must keep the defender away from the football. Do not let him push you away. And he moved toward the football and put himself in a great position to come up with that catch at the end of the end zone.
Scored the only offensive touchdown for Toronto last week. He had a kickoff return touchdown earlier, now in the end zone again. And Chris, injuries are playing a role because Kerry was in for the injured Reggie Durden, and Arlen Bruce made them pay.
Can you find the all-star on this team? He's not the top scorer, but he's everybody's MVP, most valuable person, a hockey volunteer. You can put your local heroes first by nominating them for the RBC Local Hockey Leaders Program. Visit rbc.com for details. RBC Insurance, first for you.
Yeah. Folks, I know you're as excited as I am about Goodyear's new Assurance Triple Tread tire, but please, this is big news. This tire is truly revolutionary. Now look here. 3 different tread patterns let you drive through icy weather, wet weather, hot weather, weather they don't even have names for yet. No, I said wet. Triple Tread has you covered no matter what. Folks, I can get to your calls, but please, let me finish. So you want to talk to the tire? Oh, okay.
I've worked hundreds of hours in that trauma room. Nobody has to tell me how dangerous cars can be. So when it came to choosing the right vehicle for my wife and 3 kids, I chose a Toyota.
This November, at your Access Toyota dealer, get a Garmin GPS navigation unit free with any new Toyota. So put the maps away and hit the open road.
First game as an Argo against Montreal. And the Alouettes have not been ready for Arlen Bruce today. 5 catches short of a playoff record. Mookie Mitchell had 16 catches in a 98 playoff game against Montreal. So it's a 9-point lead. As for Landry, down at the 35-yard line as the congratulations are being exchanged at the Argo bench.
Well, Arlen Bruce, as we're going to take a look at it, Kerry Samuel trying to put pressure on Damon Allen. But watch the end of it. Now freeze it right there, guys. Look at this. He's watching the receiver. Arlen Bruce has got a couple steps separation. As a result, Carey cannot keep Arlen Bruce from cutting back into the middle of the football field. The separation allowed him to come inside and make that catch.
The Argos did not score a point in the fourth quarter against Montreal in 3 regular season games. They have 10 in the opening 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. Short gain as the Argos savor the moment, and this crowd has been silenced.
Well, that's how you take the crowd of the game, by putting points on the board, especially in a close contest. Ted White doing what he can to try and move the Alouette offense.
Jermaine Copeland's catch was for 6 yards. Eric Lapointe second and 4. And he will be close to the first down. But it looks like he's going to be, well, the spot. Not a good one, and he'll be a yard short.
He's going to be a little under a yard short. And you can bet all the money you got in the bank. I know you got a lot that they're going to gamble on this third down.
Not a gambler, and I think my bank account's very overrated at this point. Here we go. 3rd and a yard, and White. Well, when you're 245 pounds, that's not a bad number to call.
That's like giving the offensive guard the football and just tell him to run and have some fun. He just tucks it up behind the right side, picks up the first down, gets a fresh set of downs. Scott Flory, Fritz, and Chu doing the job. Dave Stalick comes in at the tight end.
Well, this has been just a series of momentum boosters for Toronto in the second half. The England sack on Calvillo, then the block punt. White's got to play from a disadvantage, and Cahoon punished. An incompletion. Oh, he caught it. How about that? Boy, he was double teamed, and Ben Cahoon just stuck with it.
No, he just has a great pair of hands, great concentration. Nothing seems to phase him, even though he knows he's going to have contact. Just sits down there, goes high over the right shoulder to corral that football, gets hit, but still hangs on.
8th catch, he's over 100 yards, and on 2nd and 2, the Alouettes will push the pile, and it should be close to the first down. We'll bring you up to date on what's transpired so far in 51 minutes plus of football, and a 10-point fourth quarter has bolted the Argos into the lead.
Well, obviously Jonas Lewis on that completion of the huge drive by the Alouettes, directed by Anthony Cavill, with a 3-yard touchdown rush. You know, they had to play early, but Toronto with the lead at halftime, and then they come out, as you say, in the second half, and they've made a number of big plays. Cavill, the block punt, the interception by Steinhauer, now the touchdown to Arlen Bruce. They're making the plays right now, and they're forcing Montreal to grind it out to get anything.
And they put this man on the sidelines, the All-Canadian from a year ago, the outstanding player 2003, and a finalist again this year, but he's now a spectator. And the irony, after 2 years when the Argos had quarterbacks knocked out of the Eastern Final. 3rd down, and some motion on the line of scrimmage early. And Dave Buell spots the ball back. And now they're going to confer. Was somebody drawn?
Well, that's exactly what
they're talking about. The Argos offside.
It's exactly what they got to figure out, whether the offensive line moved or the defensive line jump.
Out of over 51,000, very quiet right now.
And this is a, you know, with 3rd down and short coming up, it's a huge call if it goes against Montreal. They've decided to put the flags back in their pocket.
Apparently, and whistle play in. Now we're ready to go. And White again, following Brian Chu and right guard Scott Flory, a couple of All-Canadians. So a fresh set of downs for the Alouettes. Don Matthews is down 2 scores. Under 8 minutes to go. Plenty of time, but precarious position to be in.
But I think you got to start pulling Ted White and not let him sit in the pocket. He's a big guy. He's 6'4".
Earlier today, Paul McCallum missing the short field goal in overtime, and then Duncan O'Mahony for the last second to tie, and then that winner. Ted White in trouble, and down he goes. Eric England's got another, but there is a marker down.
Well, they might call a face mask. You can see that Ted White shaking his head in agreement with what he thinks will be the call. But Ted White, again, he cannot sit. This is a big guy. He should be rolling out.
Foul, face mask, Toronto 95.
Well, Eric England's going to get the face mask call, and that's going to give a fresh set of downs and additional yardage to the Alouette offense. Right at the bottom of your screen, going to run a little twist to the inside. Breaks to Scott Flory's block and gets the hand on the helmet, tears it off, and that's an easy call for the official.
He had a good piece of the grill. There was no question about that. There was a phantom face mask call in last week's Eastern Semi, but that one will not be contested. And now White drops the ball, gets it away, and the point is drilled as it gave Mike Fletcher time to step up. And now we're seeing some nerves, perhaps, from the backup quarterback.
Well, I think the time, he's feeling the clock tick in the back of his head. He's initially going to go over in a quick hitch. He's telegraphed this all the way. Now, as he picks the ball up, very fortunate, but he still decides to try and throw the ball. Now, he takes a shot, but so does the intended receiver, Eric Lapointe, as England and Brown meet at number 7.
Result, a loss of 5 back at the 42, 2nd and 15. White pumps, wants to go deep, looking downfield, incomplete. Thyron Anderson, the intended target. Chuck Winters in support of Jordan Younger in coverage.
One of the things that's happened here is we talked about match coverage where you put an extra defender to the receiver side. So if you have 3 receivers, they're going to put 4 defenders there. That allows you to have a good support system down deep on the ball, and that's exactly what happened. Chuck Winters comes over there and helps out Jordan Younger on the play. They're playing smart football defensively, the Argonauts are.
Matt Kellett, his longest this year, 39, attempting a 50-yarder unless Don Matthews has something up his sleeve. Cahoon spots it. Kellett kicks it, and it will miss. And Livingston will come out. Looking for a seam, very deliberate. And rather casual. But it's still a 9-point lead as Kellett comes up empty.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When the Rocky Mountain Rescue Group needs light to save lives, they trust Duracell. Out there or right here at home. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Where is it written that luxury is only for the few? Where is it written that style can't have substance? If it is written somewhere, we're rewriting the book. Kia Amonte.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When monitoring a patient after open heart surgery, the brand of battery hospitals trust most is Duracell. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Who carries only the highest quality brand name products competitively priced, backed by knowledgeable staff? It's all at Western Canada's leading supplier of professional automotive repair centers. Bumper to bumper. Trusted by professionals. Trusted by you.
When Canadians want the whole story, they turn to CBC News, bringing you the Canadian perspective.
They've been pushing the government.
The source Canadians trust. CBC News, The National, weeknights at 10.
We have seen this a few times this year. Mike Clements with words for Bashar Livingston after the decision to bring it out. They were willing to give up the single point. My question, Chris, as Mike O'Shea gets into it too, shouldn't he have had those instructions before he went out?
Well, you definitely would have thought that somebody on the special teams on the punt return and missed field goal return team would have told him to give up the point.
And Damon Allen just bailed him out with a big completion to Robert Baker at a first down near the 20.
We haven't talked much about Damon Allen, but he really has done a nice job of throwing that football and spreading it around to his receivers, and now we see another Alouette down, grabbing
Gary Samuel, we're told.
The right knee.
I've never seen this many Alouettes down in a game as he gets tied up with Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, I think you're exactly correct, Chris. Kevin Johnson's going to come from the backside, and he just kind of leg whips Terry Samuel across the right knee as he goes by him. And remember earlier, we didn't talk about him much, but the guy they've really missed this year, Mark Megna, who is probably one of their more dominant defensive linemen.
Great pursuit defensive end. Ed Fillion yesterday telling me he's like the herd dog, and Samuel has been one of many who have tried to replace Megna, but now he's down. They've lost Reggie Durden. Anthony Calvillo is the headline story. Tim Strickland on the bench, and we're going to join Brenda Irving.
Well, Chris, as you guys know, the Owls bench is kind of like Fort Knox when it comes to getting injury updates. Coach Don Matthews has given his staff and his players strict instructions not to speak with the media during games. What I can tell you, Tim Strickland taking off his helmet, suspected knee injury. Reggie Durden on the bench with what looks to be a deep thigh bruise, but I don't know if either of you guys can read lips, but you use your help down here.
Well, we just know that we haven't seen Durden for almost a half now. And it is becoming, there's Kwame Cavill, another, and that was a huge early loss for the offense. Not as big as Cavill.
Well, no, because you can replace the receiver. They still had 3,000-yard receivers in the lineup, and of course we talked about Sylvain Girard, who might have had 1,000, so they got guys, quality backups that can come up and do the job, but you can't lose your leader.
Allen in the flat, another Arlen Bruce catch, and brought down by Malvo, 12th catch of the game, so he's on record pace. Most catches by a receiver in one game this season in the Canadian Football League, and now 4 shy of the playoff record.
But again, just getting enough time. When we talked about the offensive line of the Argonauts, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to buy the extra time for Damon Allen to complete the throws, and they have done that. Bruce has been the recipient of 12 receptions, 104 yards and a touchdown, but Damon Allen has had the time to find the receivers downfield.
A tight end in the game for the Argos on 2nd and 8. Allen up the middle, lunging for the 30. Ball came loose. Looks like he'll be close, but maybe a yard short. And you would not expect Michael Clements to be in a gambling mood.
With 4:24 left and ticking, obviously the biggest thing you want to do is you want to punt the ball. You got the league's best punter. You've done a great job so far on the cover teams. So if you're short, depending on the mark, if it's less than a yard, then the question comes in, do you want to go for it and eat up some more time on the clock? That's the dilemma.
You know, the yards have been hard to come by, but you got to hand it to the 41-year-old 3-time Grey Cup winner. Once again, he's managing the football game.
You know what? He does all the little things right, and that's what you want. 41 years old, he's the fountain of youth. He just keeps on ticking, and he's done what we thought he had to do, and that is run with the football.
And he's a warrior, limping off.
36-2.
4.5 minutes left. Argos will be counting on good punt coverage here, and another lead-footed kick from Prefontaine.
Timeout, Montreal.
One can only imagine that the Alouettes did not have the right complement on the field as they spend their timeout. that could be very useful with a 9-point deficit in the late stages of this game.
Well, it's definitely something you're going to find out. You're going to test the mettle of the Argonauts. We talked about the Argonauts Gillette game notes. It's in the cards with 6 to 7 yards. That obviously referring to first down yardage. Look at the average, 6.2 yards. It's exactly what they had to do. Play some rock and roll on Cavill. Well, I'll tell you what, did that come true? They put him out of the game in the third quarter.
Prefontaine gets it away. Another kick away from Landry, and it will go out near midfield.
Closed captioning is brought to you by
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
the new Pontiac G6, launching this fall.
Evan Solomon will make the case for Alexander Graham Bell, the greatest Canadian. It's Monday at 8 o'clock on CBC television, and you can vote for any of the top 10 nominees at cbc.ca/greatest. Short punt by Prefontaine. They mark it out at the 51. Just 30 yards that time for Prefontaine. And a pass picked off. An interception by Jordan Younger. He's had quite a day. And Ted White's second interception in relief of Anthony Calvillo is another nail in the coffin.
You hit it on the head. The biggest thing right now is he has the right receiver picked out. He just overthrows the antenna receiver. Doesn't have any touch on the football, and as a result, another interception, this time by, as you say, Jordan Younger, who's played one whale of a game on the outside, doing a great job of covering Thyron Anderson for most of the afternoon. This time he just sits back there, reads the coverage, reads the receiver's routes, and jumps in front. Doesn't have to make much of a move on that overthrown football.
Alouettes had the fewest giveaways in the league this year. That's the 4th turnover of the night. John Avery. Short gain, a couple.
That's John Avery's second carry of the afternoon. I can't believe I'm even saying that. I was a little surprised. Hey, they're winning, so God, you know what? That's the way it works. But I would have utilized, or thought they would have utilized John Avery maybe in screens. Maybe fly him out to the sidelines, give him quick hitch passes. We know what he can do in the open field. Instead, the man that they've gone to in that capacity has been Arlen Bruce.
John Avery in his career, 2.9-yard average against Montreal. Even in his brilliant 2002 season, ineffective against the Alouettes. He gets the ball here and maybe gets 2 or 3 as the Argos content to run the clock. The 3-minute warning given to the benches with an upset in the making in Montreal.
The Honda Odyssey has long been called the best vehicle in its class. All the more reason to go back to the drawing board and make it more powerful with an advanced 255 horsepower V6 engine. More spacious with room for 8 and more intelligent than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea made better.
A star. A star. It's like they just can't see. Well, if popular in the world can't see reality. But this and this, I youth to fling it in the style. And every round my master fight, you come and follow me. See what I see. We give thanks and praise to the Almighty. Hallelujah. See what I see. And that's a run, Father. And that's a run, follow it. A star. A star.
Few relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin light truck tires. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Those thundersticks starting to be discarded by the faithful here at Olympic Stadium. 2:44 to play. The Argos by 9 as they try to avenge 2 straight Eastern Final losses to the Alouettes, a team that did not lose to an Eastern opponent all year. Argos working the clock. Prefontaine again will make sure Landry can't get his hands on it. As we update the Alouette Gillette game notes.
Well, we're talking about field of force. Now is the 4 horsemen with 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Obviously, Cahoon 103 yards, Copeland 84, but Kwame Cavill had to leave the game early with a suspected concussion. Iced the Argos. They felt they could intimidate him, confuse him, and execute their game plan. No sacks, and only 1 interception by Kelly Melville.
And now Ted White has 2:21 and a 9-point deficit to overcome to get the Alouettes to their 4th Grey Cup in 5 years. First down in the air, and it's caught. Copeland up at the 38-yard line has 14.
Well, I think you're in a scenario right now where you need guys like Jermaine Copeland to go into the huddle and remind Ted White that he can catch this football, that he can be a factor right now. You go to your go-to guys in clutch situations. That would be Copeland and Cahoon.
Without a huddle, White flushed. And it's up for grabs, picked off. Look out, Antonius Bonner. Oh, what a play by Ben Cahoon. That had touchdown written all over it. But it is another turnover, number 5 for the Argos black and blue defense.
Well, it's a scenario we saw earlier when Ted White fumbled the snap and still persisted in trying to throw the football to a spot. This time he's just going to sit back. He actually fumbles the football again and then knows he's going to be dragged down. Instead of taking the sack and taking another down, he tries to force the situation. He throws it right at number 10, Antonius Bonner. Comes up with an interception, and with 1:58 left in the football game, that man just cannot believe what has transpired. I guarantee you, Chris, he's going to check his locker room and see if there's a Ottawa Renegade playbook somewhere in there, because they have had the rash of injuries that the Ottawa Renegades have suffered all year long.
Twin tights for the Argos. John Avery kicks it outside. This could be the finishing touches. Avery! Touchdown! Don Matthews knows the inevitable now. His team not going back.
Well, 2 things happened. When Anthony Cavill went out of this football game, the Argonaut defense could not relax because Ted White was in this football game. They did not relax. They came after him. They forced turnovers. That's huge. John Avery didn't get to touch the football much this afternoon. Used primarily as a blocking back. But when he got his 3rd carry in the afternoon, he made him pay.
Extra point added as the Argos celebrate.
That's darn pretty. Where do the Northern Lights come from anyway?
Well, way out from Canada.
I mean, what causes them?
I don't know.
Long-lasting, super bright LED lights from Home Hardware use 80% less electricity. So they save you energy and money.
Oh my.
Energy-saving LED lights from $7.99 at Home Hardware. Holiday decorating help is close to home.
Pinball Clemens trying to stop the celebration for another minute 49. That's how far away they are from a trip to the nation's capital next week.
Well, a little tight end blocking. You see Jonathan Langdon, 72, coming around the left side. John Avery busts it to the outside and takes it all the way for a touchdown. Michael Botterill with the tackle, but not until he's in the end zone.
Argos had 3 takeaways in their win over Hamilton last week, 5 today. They have 10 points off turnovers. They got the special teams touchdown from Arlen Bruce, and that's why the fans in blue and white are celebrating. And many of the Alouette fans are headed home. Squib kick by Prefontaine, picked up by Anwar Stewart, upended immediately. Well, the last time the Argos were victorious in an Eastern final was with Don Matthews at the helm and Doug Flutie throwing the football. And look who's taking it to the house. Mike Clements in a win over the Alouettes. And now as a head coach, for the first time, he's apparently on his way to the Grey Cup.
Well, I love the line that Damon Allen said. He said, you know what, if nobody thought they could beat Montreal this year, they'd be undefeated.
Ted White going for a bundle, and Orlando Steinauer, no, it's caught! Steinauer playing center field, and Gerard took it away from him. And
what a catch! What a catch, Chris, by Sylvain Gerard. No quit in number 3. Double coverage. They've got him box slow. They got him covered up top, and he just wants the ball more. Great grab by Sylvain Gerard to hang on to that football down to the 7-yard line.
58 yards for Gerard, who was second in average yards per catch this year to only Jason Tucker. First and goal at the 7, a pump, end zone, Anderson, and a flag as Anderson felt the tug. And a penalty called on the play. It will be Younger, Jordan Younger. And we should point out 2 scores and 2 two-point converts tie this game.
Toronto 32.
Yeah, it's going to be Chuck Winters with the call. Jordan Younger's done an excellent job of covering Anderson all afternoon. This time 32 gets the duty, and Anderson beats him to the back of the end zone, and he has no other alternative but to tug on the jersey, not allowing him to come up with that catch.
First down at the 1 with 2 running backs. The point stopped, and then launching touchdown. And the Argos arguing that he was in the grasp. We do have a penalty on the play.
Well, it was thrown on the line of scrimmage, and it's probably going to go against the Argonauts. Usually it means they've encroached on that 1 yard. That seems to be the signal from Luke Fritz, the right tackle.
Offside, Toronto 95, penalties decline, touchdown.
So hold on. There's 6, 10 points. The margin that Montreal faces. Now they will try to execute the 2-point convert and get within another touchdown and another 2 points. So the ball on the far hash mark at the 5. White scrambling, open man, and he's got it. Dave Stalla. Well, we're in for an interesting final 78 seconds as the Argos celebration premature.
You can never relax in this great game up here in Canada. Ted White sits back there. We've seen him make some poor decisions. This time he doesn't force the football, backs up, rolls to left. Now he could have ran with the football. It was wide open, but he found Dave Stalla wide open in the end zone for the 2-point convert.
Was an Argo for one frustrating season. Traded with Orlando Steinauer to the Argos for Michael O'Shea. And then carried the ball just 11 times that year. Left and became a free agent back home in Montreal. We take another look. Argos thought he put a knee down, but the replay indicates, well, he's down before the lunge. And the Alouettes do get the benefit of the call.
Well, they get the benefit of the call and the fact that they thought they had him stopped right here. They're for sure thought the whistle was going to be blown, but watch the knee. Watch, here it goes. Now the knee is down and he hasn't crossed. So as you say, Chris, very fortunate for that touchdown.
Now the short kick up for grabs. Ivory's got it, fields it cleanly. Argos have the football, and remember, the Alouettes do not have a timeout. They mysteriously used it with 4.5 minutes to go.
Toronto cannot play conservative right now. Run the football, use the clock. The whole thing about it, this is why you have a veteran quarterback like Damon Allen. He's been around the league. He knows how to use the clock. Once it's whistled in, take the 20 seconds. football off, he may just go down on a knee and eliminate the potential of a turnover. That looks like what he's going to do.
First down, Avery. And Avery battles his way to midfield, so he gets 4 to 5 hard-earned yards. One more first down, and the Argos can book the trip.
And the reason I thought that Damon Allen might take the football and run around killing the clock is the one knock on John Avery is he has a case of fumbleitis. He's led the Argos with 5 fumbles, and that's not to say he hasn't had a good game blocking today. He's only carried the ball a few times, scored late in this quarter. Sometimes it's better just to hang on to the football yourself.
2nd and 5, Avery! And he will be stopped short at the Montreal 51. 48 seconds on the clock, and it will start to roll again when Dave Ewell whistles play in. And Avery, who suffered a pulled groin late in the year, sat out the final game against Montreal and took away his chance of a 1,000-yard season, is limping off. So there'll be some casualties on this side too. And we are unsure of the status of Casey's printers next week. Don Matthews lined up all 12 on the line of scrimmage earlier this year.
That's exactly it. I was just going to say, do you play the block, or do you try to get a good return by preventing the cover team from getting downfield and allowing Ezra Landry perhaps to break one this afternoon? Obviously, he hasn't had many opportunities, as Noel Prefontaine has done a masterful job of kicking the ball out of bounds.
Argos took all that time off the clock, called the timeout with 1 second on the time clock.
Timer, please reset the clock to 29 seconds. 29 seconds.
29 seconds remaining. A team that has been built to beat Don Matthews' Montreal Alouettes, and they are just under a half minute away from doing so. Bruce, a playoff record today, and that Argo defense has done it again, but one play by Gerard, leaving this one still in doubt. And whoa, penalty down. Did the Argos draw them offside? If so, this is over. Landry on the return, and he's out at the 30-yard line. And what's the call? If it's against Montreal, the first down for the Argonauts will clinch the game.
I think it is definitely against the Alouettes. The interior of that line was drawn off. They jumped the gun, and if it is, and it is, that'll give them an automatic first down, the Argonauts, because you only need 2 to pick up the first.
Offside. Montreal 94. First down.
Well, it's over now.
That's Rob Brown in the middle of your screen. Just jumps the gun, and wouldn't have mattered what Ezra Landry had done on the return as we take a look at Don Matthews, and this is probably symbolic as he takes the headset off and walks back to the bench.
It's about his all. Hey, it's about his all. It's about his all. They talked all that crap, but you know, you have to play the game, and we played the game.
But that's what we call a wrap. It's over with. A wrap.
Hey, what's a wrap mean? What's a wrap mean?
It's over.
Hey, Grey Cup.
Now a jubilant Argos sidelines. And if you're wondering how the two teams matched up this year, East and West, there were the scores. Big win for BC in week 11, but on Thanksgiving Monday, it was the Argos with a brilliant defensive effort and riding the toe of Prefontaine. Toronto, BC, 20 seconds away from being official, and even putting a knee down puts Damon Allen on the limp. I mean, you can't say enough about him, and what the game have been different if he had finished.
Well, you know it might have been different. I mean, obviously that's what they're all going to talk about. It's the fact that when you lose Anthony Cavill, who is up for the most outstanding player, who is the leader of the Alouette team, things would have definitely been, I can promise you there wouldn't have been 3 interceptions. He probably would not have made the decisions that Ted White did. But how about giving credit to Damon Allen? Took those shots from Ed Fillion, stayed in the football game, ran with the football. You see there, Coach Pinball getting the dump. The Gatorade, it's good thing they didn't drop the bucket on him because he would have been right underneath it.
Michael Clements is going to the Grey Cup for the first time as a head coach. And the Alouettes' reign as East Division champions is over. The Toronto Argonauts with a 26-18 victory as we head to the sidelines and join Brenda Irving.
Well, Chris, Arland Bruce knows that it takes big plays to win the big games, and you had two of the biggest tonight.
Coach said, you know, big-time players make big-time plays in the games, and, you know, all week we just, you know, get the ball to the playmakers, and that's what they did. That's what we did. Defense did their thing. We came out with victory. We're going to the Grey Cup.
You know, a lot of people thought that this team was the underdog here tonight, but all week this team has been so confident. What made the team so sure it was going to win this game?
We just stuck together all week. You know, you could just feel the environment. It's a family. The Argonauts are a family for real, and that's why we came out victorious today.
Congratulations, and have fun in Ottawa.
That's right. Thank you.
Well, here in Montreal, it's the Toronto Argonauts 26, the Montreal Alouettes 18. Toronto is going to the Grey Cup.
No, it's no problem. We'll see you at 7. Okay, great. So Mom and Dad are coming, and Paul and the kids.
Well, Mrs. and Mr. Keiko coming too.
Hold on, we're keeping it small this year, right? Not like last year.
Speaking of small, Dad, we need a new tree.
I'll start with you.
Oh, look at that one.
Oh, this one I like. Comes with the lights already on it.
I love the new tree. Isn't it beautiful?
An espresso machine.
Oh, this is the new Melita coffee pod system.
You can make a custom cup of coffee or tea in about 30 seconds.
Hey!
I am so looking forward to the party.
It's just one more.
Oh, it's a wine cooler. I thought you were having a small party this year.
The holidays just seem to get a little easier when you start at Canadian Tire.
So much for keeping it small.
Well, next year there's going to be one more.
Really?
Merry Christmas.
I'll start with you.
A 15,000-pound trailer is a lot of weight to tow, which is why we gave the new Ford Super Duty the only integrated trailer brake controller. Because a 15,000-pound trailer is a lot of weight to stop. The new Ford Super Duty, we keep thinking about tough. Because we want you to drive a Ford.
So I can't decide on Steve's present. Either a digital camera or a day at the spa.
Excellent. Has he ever had a pedicure?
No.
Oh, go for the spa day.
Over the digital camera?
Oh, yeah. Guys love having their feet fussed over.
Yeah, you're right. You'll love it.
From iPods to camera phones, everything they really want is right here. Future Shop.
Year after year after year, Toyo tires have been voted #1 in product quality for 8 years in a row. Product quality rated higher than other tire manufacturers. The results are in. It's time you switch to Toyo tires. Head to your nearest Toyo dealer. Toyo tires, driven to perform.
In 2000, Damon Allen led the BC Lions to the Grey Cup. This year, he'll lead the Argos against those Lions, and he's standing by with Brenda.
Well, Damon Allen, disappointment on this field just a year ago. What was the key to the difference in this victory tonight?
Well, I thought even last year we came in and we felt we can come in here and play well and steal the game. And, you know, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to finish, but, you know, I'm quite thankful I was able to gut it out. And it was a great win. It was a great total team effort. Defense played outstanding. And I think offense, we came ready to play today.
You managed a solid game offensively. What do you want to do a little differently next week in Ottawa when you play the BC Lions?
About next week, I'm not even sure who we're playing. I know we're going. I don't know what happened out west, but we're quite thankful that you know, as this family, the Argo family, and the people back at home in Toronto, the supporters all year, it's quite nice to come in Montreal and beat them.
So you didn't know you were playing BC?
No, I didn't know we were playing BC, but it's nice.
Okay, then. Good luck in Ottawa.
Thank you.
Well, Damon Allen, three-time Cup winner, now time for the warrior of the game. And it was his favorite receiver who made noise on special teams with that 97-yard kickoff return. He also had a playoff record, 12 catches for 104 yards. In all, 2 touchdowns for Arlen Bruce III. The difference in the football game and the warrior of the game.
Warrior of the game, brought to you by Rona, the how-to people, proudly Canadian.
Well, a disappointed crowd here as the Argos celebrate the East Division title at a berth in the Grey Cup against the BC Lions 1 week away.
Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, you don't. You don't have a cold.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're not sneezing or anything.
Well, I was yesterday, but I took Contact.
Contact helps you breathe easier because it helps relieve sneezes due to nasal congestion for up to 12 hours, so you can get on with your day.
Oh, it's cold. I know what you mean.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Contact helps you get on with your day.
Is your house putting a damper on your holidays? Run to Rona and decorate your home this holiday during our Deck the Halls with Rona event. Get this brilliant Christmas bear for just $39.95. 25 exterior lights, just $4.99. Or this 7-foot Antarctica flock pine, just $99. Get your home into the holiday spirit. Run to Rona for our Deck the Halls event happening right now at each and every Rona store. Hurry, quantities are limited. Rona, the how-to people, proudly Canadian.
So long, ordinary toothbrush. The Oral-B dental experts have created cleaning technology like nothing else on Earth. The new Oral-B Professional Care 8000. It pulsates and oscillates to loosen plaque and sweep it away. Teeth get twice as clean and dramatically whiter. Gums get stronger. Your whole mouth gets healthier. You'll never go back to an ordinary brush again. The new Oral-B Professional Care 8000. Brush like a dentist.
The Argos proved the naysayers wrong tonight, defeating the favorite Alouettes 26-18. They now get set for their first Grey Cup appearance in 7 years. A reminder, the CBC's coverage continues a week from today. We begin with Grey Cup Sunday. Brian Williams and the panel will preview the championship game. And then it's the 92nd Grey Cup. Chris Cuthbert and Chris Walby will have the call from Frank Clair Stadium in Ottawa. Here in Montreal tonight, the Toronto Argonauts win the right to meet the BC Lions in the ultimate battle for Canadian football supremacy. For everyone here, I'm Brenda Irving. Thanks for watching and good night from Montreal.
CBC Sports, Canada's Olympic Network.
The source Canadians trust.
Fiery exchange today in the news.
Quickly scrambling. CBC News, The National, weeknights at 10.
We now join programming in progress.